Ah. Hey guys, welcome back. So it's been a couple days since my last video. I am now in Portland, Oregon. You can see outside it's getting dark, and my last video was much better received than I expected. Like surprisingly so. I got a lot of personal messages from people saying that it was a really good video and it helped them out. So that was awesome. Not exactly what I expected at all. So that was very cool. I was excited about it, and I was telling my wife, it's like, man, that last video was really great. Look at some of these messages. And she's like, that's awesome. There's a couple things you should probably hit on that are things that you didn't say in your video. I had her watch it, tell me what she thought. And so this is going to be kind of like a follow-up to that video, and I've got ideas actually for other things that kind of actually go along with that concept that I'll touch on here. If you're interested, I can make separate videos based on those things. But one of the first things that she told me, and she's right about this, and again, I don't reflect on myself very often about how, especially if something that I'm doing works, I don't really think about it, just kind of do it and it continues to work. If it doesn't work, that's the kind of thing where, I try to adjust what I'm doing and do something different, no matter what it is. If it's art or working on the computer or sculpting or riding a bike, whatever it is. Like if something's not working, I adjust it. But when it works, I don't think much about it. And one of the things that I didn't think about in the last video was that when I put myself out there to say, if you ever need this, that, or the other, a couple things are that when I say that, I never expect anything from the other person. And I think I sort of said that in there, but I really genuinely never expect anything from that person. I don't think, I don't expect them to do anything. And if they don't do anything, then, if they don't extend an offer to me at some point or whatever, it's fine. It does not matter to me at all. It's just, it is what it is. I put it out. If they don't need the help, that's totally fine. And that's just how it is. If they never, ever, 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 ever say, yeah, I could use that thing, or hey, I want to help you, or I want to work with you, that is totally fine. Never bothers me in the slightest. It's okay. And that's a thing that I think is important, is if you stay, in that kind of mode, you can be friends with these people forever, and then they'll never feel like you're like asking them the same thing constantly. Hey, let me help with this or that. It's not to say you shouldn't bring it up again at some point, or like a gentle reminder from time to time, but don't press it too hard. It's a good way to like distance yourself from people you might want to work with. And then another big thing was being ready if someone accepts your and that's not really an invite, but if you say, hey, if you ever need this service that I can provide. If they one day reach out to you and say, hey, can you do this thing? Be able to do it. Don't offer things that you can't do. You might be on the fence about it, like, I think I could do this. If you need help, someone to step in or an extra set of hands, that's sort of different. But if you're like, hey, you need someone to 3D model something, if you can't do it, don't put yourself out there too much until you feel confident that you can do what they need you to do. The only reason for this is that if they step up with the offer and they say, yeah, we'd like you to do this, and then you try to do it and you fail at it, the chances of you getting to work with that person again go down tremendously. So it's better to not put yourself out there if you don't think you can, manage to pull off what you are proposing to do, if that makes sense. So make sure you're comfortable doing whatever it is you put out there. Also, if it does come back to you, really, really try to take the offer on. So if someone's like, yeah, that sounds great, I could use your service doing this, don't turn around and be like, oh, well, I'm busy that day or whatever. I mean, sometimes you might legitimately be busy that day or have other plans, but for the most part, if you can take it, weigh it against if it's like this great opportunity versus a TV show or something. Take the opportunity and go and do it. Like if it means not hanging out with your friends for a week or two, that's fine. Just go do that. the more of those experiences you get, the better. And the thing is, sometimes if somebody needs that help, if they come to you and you were the one to help them, they'll ask you for help over and over and over in the future. That's happened to me almost every time that I've worked with somebody, with a handful of exceptions. Usually if I work with somebody, they will work with me again. They'll hire me again repeatedly for a long time. It's just been that way. But if you can't take the job, sometimes you legitimately can't take it. But if you just don't take it because, I don't know, you don't feel like doing it that day, and then they get somebody else to do it, that person is going to be the person that they work with for however long, even if they're not that great. Sometimes it's just knowing that person's available is sufficient for a lot of jobs. So, keep that in mind. If you really want the opportunities to continue to open up for you, try to take as many of the jobs as possible, or jobs, the opportunities, whatever helpful things that is. So that's a big thing. And then, and like I said, back to that being prepared aspect, you want to have your skills developed enough. And I have a lot of people tell me, oh, I just don't have time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. But then they can tell me every update on all the sports games and all the TV shows, and they're up to date on all the movies, and they've read 20 comic books, and they've looked at all the Facebook. If they have time for all that stuff, you probably have time to learn whatever the new skill is that you're like, I want to do this, but... And I have friends that are like, man, I really want to get good at this thing, but I haven't had time. They'll tell me they want to get good at the same thing for like 3 years. And at some point, I'm just like, I don't think they want it that bad. And I feel like that's an important thing too, is if you really want to go somewhere and, in life, like you have a goal and you want to start working in a certain field, put the other stuff aside, the TV, the video games, all that stuff, just push it to the side. Don't touch it. See what happens if you don't do it for a year and you do something else instead. You'll be amazed at how quickly you progress with whatever it is. If you want to learn how to code, or learn how to draw, or learn how to paint, learn how to sculpt, 3D model, build stuff, skateboard, surf, ride bikes, whatever that thing is. If you put that much time that you were using to watch some TV show into that skill, you will get better so much faster. You'll get better so much faster, and then it'll be rewarding. It'll come back to you sooner. You'll be offered more opportunities. It's just worth it. Just put down the freaking video games. And I know this from experience because I played World of Warcraft for like 2 years. And when I saw one day how many hours I'd put into that game, I was like, holy cow. And the second I stopped and I started, working on my own skills again, things started moving my way faster and faster, and it happened really quickly. It makes a big difference. I hardly watch any TV, like hardly ever. Every once in a while I'll put a show on. I'll put on movies I've already seen. I'll put them on in the background. There goes my phone right in the middle of my video. That's good. But yeah, think about what's really, really important in your life. Is watching the shows important, or is getting this new skill important? And typically, the new skill is going to lead to more things for most people. So anyway, those are just a couple things I thought about. I could probably elaborate on any of that information more. And I've got a whole bunch of other ideas of things that in my life have turned out to be helpful. Again, things that I didn't plan or think about, but just kind of, just sort of worked for me now that I'm sort of thinking about what things have gone right in my life. I'm trying to maybe make a list and put that together in something usable for other people. But anyway, again, I'm sorry. It is a little weird for me to talk about my own experiences like this. I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to make it a point because I feel like I have a lot of things that I think would be helpful for people. A lot of experiences I think would be really helpful to people, but I never know how to present them in a way that doesn't sound, I don't know, like completely douchey or like a Tony Robbins kind of guy. I don't necessarily want to do that, but I don't know. I'm trying to work it out. So anyway, thanks so much, guys, for everybody that commented on that last video and wrote me and said all these nice things. It was really eye-opening for me. So And if you guys have any other questions about things that you think I might be able to help you with, let me know, and I will try my best to, talk about them. If it comes down to, I don't know, just things I do to like stay on task or keep motivated or get inspiration, etc. All those things are things that I would like to discuss in the future. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to being in this hotel in Oregon, and I will make a new video soon. Hopefully project video, but maybe another video like this. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, kids. I will see you soon. Later. Bye.